most of this little section is just grass. It's not any tumbleweeds or sage, and it's spotty, patchy grass, but we're going to eventually have I want to make a nice little, just grassy patch. You know, maybe we'll have some permaculture stuff going on in here. But you can see we have a little bit of a garden over there.
I mean, if someone has got a truck and they're willing to drive 15 miles one direction, there's access to soil.
Oh yeah.
Maybe a little longer, but it's out here.
We can put it down, and when you mix it in with this dirt, the problem with this kind of dirt, and the reason why so few things grow is because there's a layer of sand over everything. Because it's so windy out here that everything moves around. The topsoil is very loose, so if you want to dig anything, if you want to build anything, you have to kind of dig down anyways, at least a foot or two to get rid of that topsoil. So,
but it's a great place to take the power of the sun and use it towards growing something if one had a greenhouse or raised beds.
Absolutely.
I mean, people do that anyways in the city.
And potatoes grow here like nobody's business.
Just as it is in the soil.
Just the way it is. They like the pH level. It's a very acidic soil content right now. So we're using like manure, and we're using certain things to mix into it to help get some more nutrients in the ground. But a lot of the problem with growing out here is it's just so acidic. You have to put more base in it. You have to put something that's going to counteract that.
And quinoa may grow in this. I haven't tested here in this soil, but it does grow up north in Mosca. It grows in this climate.
Okay. And yeah, if you have enough water, honestly, plants are very adaptive. If you can get something to even just barely survive, if you take the seeds from that, the next iteration is just going to survive that much better.
I've heard it recommended that using dried horse shit and breaking that up and adding that to the garden could really improve.
That's what we were using over there. You notice there's some clods all over the place. Horses just run around anywhere. They're free. It's free range. There's no fences, so they just can go anywhere. I don't know if you can tell right here, this bed, we kind of have rocks around it. This is like the manure, so if we didn't mix it perfectly good yet, it's composting. Like, we're not using it right now, so it's still deteriorating and mixing in with the soil. So we come out here every now and then, put some water in it, kind of mix it up around, really kind of get the stuff nice, and we want it mixed. You want it to not have chunks in it.
Somebody left a comment on this channel that coffee grinds can do wonders for soil.
Coffee grinds are great, and they're good for deterring ants, so we need to do that. A lot of the problem, if you look at these, like this patch of grass right here is a perfect example. Right here, if you look at this, there's a big chunk of grass right here. What's happened is the harvester ants will come in and they will dig up the middle of it because they feed off of the grass seeds. They love the seeds. So there's this big patch of dirt, and almost every single one of these that you look at, there's a big patch of dirt right on the middle. You can see this is one patch of grass. There's just a big chunk of dirt right here, just right in the middle. It's because the ants will eat out the middle, and they will truck dirt for their home right into the middle of the pile, which kills the grass, and then they can take the seeds, and then the seeds are ready for them to eat. So
there's some pretty large ant hills out here too.
Oh, yeah.
Made out of like itty bitty rocks.
Right there, yeah.
Okay, let's take a look at that real quick.
Yeah, they're pretty.
And these are, we talked before, these are videos. I'm sorry, these are trees.
These are poplar trees.
Poplar trees.
And
okay.
They're somewhat of an invasive species in that they normally grow very quickly, and they have a very extensive root structure. And the roots will grow out, and then more saplings will sprout all over the place. So eventually what we want to do is have this row be, have more than just 4, and then we'll just have a huge windbreak, and then we'll just have a little grove of trees all throughout everything. You see the leaves have like holes in them, discoloration, turning brown and stuff like that. Probably because of the lack of nutrients. They're not getting either the right amount of nutrients or pH levels off or something like that. It causes those effects.
So this is the work of ants. These can be seen all throughout the San Luis Valley.
Man, these things pop up like overnight. They will tear it up. Yeah, and if you do that, they will come out. They will stick their head out and start crawling around. So I have yet to determine if they're fire ants or harvester ants. They're red, big, bodies. They're very big ants.
You know, if people aren't scared enough of the San Luis Valley, talk about these flying ants that I've never heard of until recently.
Here's some ants. You can see them. They're coming out right now. They're all swarming out of the...
Alexander, he's here. Fuck.
Oh, man. Yeah, there's a different kind. It's the queens of the harvester ants, I believe. Their mating ritual is all the queens, and we're talking thousands, tens of thousands, perhaps hundreds of thousands of these things. They will fly, and they will land on anything that's like over 4 feet tall, and they just attach themselves to it in huge swarms. I mean, every single part of the camper was covered, the yurt was covered, teepee, everything was just completely covered in these ants. And they
oh my God, the ants! Oh my God, I'm so scared of San Luis Valley! We better get out of here! Oh my God!
They'll swarm you, and I don't think they bite, but the worker ants, harvester ants, they'll bite, and I've been bitten by those before, and they hurt for quite a long time. Hurt for almost a day sometimes, but you know, it's all just, you gotta take...
There's an underground cellar. Let's take a look at that real quick.
Yeah, I don't really know what that's about.
We were talking about maybe having an area where we put the food that's separate from the campers so we can prevent full-on mice invasion. This might not be the best spot for it, but this could be something at some point to somebody.
Right. So, yeah, it looks like a grave right now.
It's a little suspicious.
Yeah.
It's even got a cover for it.
Right over there.
Well, this could be a primitive shelter, and I think maybe it's worth demonstrating a video. Not to actually attempt to live in, but actually to show maybe the making of a fire and how to create a vent. Just the science of ventilation with fire. That's something that the Indians knew. It's something that is important with you know, putting together a teepee. And
with the outer. So yeah, I have no idea really what this whole project is about. I might just go out here and dig sometimes.
So this is like a makeshift little cover here.
Yeah. This is the road.
And this is the project Dakota here has been working on. He cleared this himself. Most of us wouldn't. I mean, for you, it's really about a skill with a shovel, basically.
Yeah.
One thing that, because you're saying...
It's a technique, and it's a very simple technique. I would assume that it would be easier to learn, but everyone I've tried to show is just very... They just don't really...
So you cleared all this yourself with a shovel. I mean, yesterday, actually, you were only here.
Yeah, yesterday I cleared, I think it was right about here, and I cleared all the way here, and I did that in about 2 hours probably, maybe a little bit more than that. Less than 3 hours though, for sure. But yeah, what I'm doing right now is I'm just marking where the driveway's gonna go, so that I don't have to measure every 15 minutes. As soon as I get both sides, both edges, then I can clear the middle, no problem. That's kind of what I was doing over there. But yeah, it was with this shovel right here. Did the whole thing. And all you do is, it's flat, and it's got a relatively sharp edge compared to the plants out here. So all you do is you don't want to put it like this. You want to have the edge be even with the ground, so that when you slide, it's almost like you're not getting anything. And then you just go up underneath the plants. It's really simple. Sometimes for some sage plants, you gotta hit them a couple times, knock them loose, like that. You get a little stick, like a little root that'll stick in the ground, but it'll dry, and then once it's dry, you can pull it out, and it's really easy to pull out. So, yep, it's a combination of this. You just do this. I put some headphones on and come out here every single morning. Just